thought that was really interesting and sort of, it's anecdotal, but we all like to
Yeah.
believe that there is this super drug that unlocks the brain's potential, and allows us to be psychic or to control our senses in a way that is, is like miraculous.
I mean, if it's classified and it's been classified since the 60s at least, I mean, what have we learned about classification, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're starting to test it again, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for like, PTSD and stuff, which I think is great, but I
Yeah.
can't wait, till we make some breakthroughs because I feel like there's a lot of breakthroughs to be made within
Yeah.
psychedelics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the same way. Nice. I like this. So okay. Um, I want to ask you about the 4chan whistleblower because you've been one of the people that have seen
Which
the
one?
most the most like interested in this specific topic because you think there are multiple, is that it?
There seems to be multiple. Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
a lot of garbage on 4chan too. So one must be
Yeah.
very careful.
But there's one that I believe has predicted a few things that have come true.
Mhm.
Uh, what can you tell me about this guy for the audience? Because I've never done an episode on that.
Yeah, it was really interesting to begin to read it because it shattered what I thought the phenomenon could be for me. In that, at first, I was like, "Oh, it's the Greys. They're from Zeta Reticuli. That's what we're dealing with," And then you read more things. You go, "Oh, the Space Brothers now, the tall blondes, and there's ultra terrestrials and there's
Ashtar
interdimensional."
Command.
Yeah, exactly. All of these different types of beings. So there's all these different types of aliens that we hear about in these stories and the lore where they come from, but this one for me seemed to fill in the most plot holes for what was going on, especially at the time, because this was prior to the first congressional hearing that this came out. This is before Grush. And there's this person talking about this underwater, massive underwater, what they call an MCU, a mobile construction unit. It is this sort of self replicating von Neumann probe, is the best way that I can describe it. Basically, this guy kind of filled all the plot holes as far as I'm concerned, that we have in the UFO space, well, a big part of it at least. And this comes out in July of 2023, so prior to David Grush coming out and talking about,
Okay.
prior to Tim Gallaudet coming out and talking about, prior to even I think Lou talking about these giant underwater, USOs or whatever. Now,
Yeah.
this is nothing new. We've heard about underwater UFOs or whatever it is. Even Richard Dolan wrote a book on it, and it starts way back when. However, it was interesting because he said that they were monitoring this thing, this mobile construction unit, as they put it, and they said it was like this self-replicating, self-sustaining sort of von Neumann-esque probe, where it is this mega base underwater that they think is using the resources in the ocean to build the craft and then eject them and deploy them to go ahead and shut down these nukes and shut down, or show up to monitor war zones and that type of stuff. Almost, it's acting as though it's some type of white blood cell
Yeah.
for planet Earth. And he goes into great detail about his role in the crash retrieval, which was to strip out the hull or the inside of the craft after the bodies and after the E-115 was taken. And so it's this essentially this Q&A that we covered in 3 parts that goes really, really deep into this stuff. And one thing he said near the end was, you'll notice yourself coming back to this as time passes, and it's something that many people have found as well, that we go back to that. We're like, oh, he said this, he was talking about that, he mentioned this. And so that, for me, the only other time that that's really happened was Bob Lazar. We hear
Yeah.
Bob, and as much as a lot of people want to deny or smear him or whatever it is, you can't deny the fact that when information comes out, you go, that's kind of what he said, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
and it keeps happening with Bob.
That's right.